Okay, I'm recording and I've got the um, participants. We have 6 participants, and I've got this set to where I have to admit people. Let me see if I can do automatic admit. Ooh, something weird's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
spazzing out on your frame.
Go back.
All right, does anybody know enough about Zoom to where I can? Oh, wait, participants. Let me see. Manage participants. Uh-uh. Oh, I have George Green. I don't know who that is. Okay. 2 people in the waiting room. Quarter tone. He's new. And who else? I want this to be automatic. I would like it to automatically let people in. Okay, we have quarter tone, and now we have George Green.
It's Lisa Green, actually. It just
Oh,
changed.
oh, okay. Lisa, I was thinking George is new.
Lisa. Thank you.
Nice to see y'all. And let me just remind you, if you would click the little 3 buttons up at the top right and put your username. So most of us don't know each other by our real names. But we could. We could if y'all would all put a signature under your posts. Raise your hand if you have a signature under your posts.
I'm not sure.
1, 2.
I have no idea.
You
Yeah.
don't? You don't have a signature? Do you know anything about signatures?
I do have a signature. I'm not sure my name is in it. Let me just check.
So every time you make a post, that's something we could always tell new people about. Anytime you make a post, under the post comes
my
your
name
name.
My name is in my
And
signature.
if you'd like to be called by something other than your username, you have to let people know basically the name you'd like to be called by, or you could use your whole name, or you could put a cute little phrase under there, quotations, and list your projects, your brags, and things like that. So let me see if I have anybody else I have to admit. I wish we could do automatic admit. Who here knows Zoom well enough to help me?
I don't know if you can do that. I'm not sure what level of Zoom you have, but the level of Zoom I have, they won't let you just have an automatic admit anymore on Zoom.
I have the professional version, but I don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. My understanding is that you can't. It's like however the meeting was set up is just the way it's going to then be. So you can either set it up to have a waiting room, or you can set it up to require a password and that kind of thing.
Admit all. I have 3 more people. Admit all. There we go. Admitted 3 more people. There's
Hi, Rich.
Larry Wilson,
Bill
Jones,
Larry.
Quarter tone. There y'all are. All right. And we are recording. So as I said, mind your mouth. Be nice, as we like to say. And I had told some people before the meeting that I had added a new segment to these monthly meetings, and it's called brags. Brags. So when you come to the meeting, you can brag on your newest project, your new thing you're seeing, some milestone you've made, some project that's complete. Just something little, most of the time I don't follow the rest of you. I don't know what you're doing all month long. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to start out by welcoming our newest member, and that is Doreen. Hello, Doreen.
Hi, Doreen.
Good to see you. Doreen had her 1-year anniversary this month.
Yeah. And Larry, you have been a wonderful help the last year. I read by Dodie, then I just switched to my regular name, and you have been so helpful to me the last year. Thank you so much.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. Good to have you on board.
Yes, indeed. So Doreen is the first person that's actually come aboard that I first heard about her on the Libriversary program. And how do y'all know about the Libriversaries yet?
Yes.
You all
Yeah.
know about those? Okay, well, good, because that's one of the things I want to talk about today. And I'm gonna share my screen and show y'all the
If it
February
goes like that,
Libriversary.
we won't see anything, Michelle.
What? Why am I doing that? Do y'all see
You
it?
are spazzing out.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
Spazzing
flashing.
out?
It's just on your frame. Everybody
it
else
could be
is
low.
all stable.
It could be low bandwidth, probably.
Well, I've shut down all my other programs. Let me see
And
if I
hello
can
to
share
quarter
my
tone. It says your mic is off and everything, but I've run across your name a couple of times recently, so that's fun.
Just a minute here. Let me see. Yes, my dog gets agitated when I talk
Oh my
when
gosh.
he's resting.
My male
Okay.
cat sometimes makes it very difficult to record because he decides he needs to be recording with me and starts yowling.
Oh, good heavens. I'm gonna share my screen. Share
If-
all of my screens, I guess.
If your voice ever gets froggy, this is my go-to.
Froggy.
Throat coat. Yeah, it's hard to see. Is that throat
Oh,
coat?
there we go.
Throat coat.
Yep.
Throat
Yes,
coat. Let me write that down because my throat is froggy all the time.
Have you guys also heard about green apples for getting rid of that kind of sound?
That what sound?
You know that kind of like
Froggy.
that sound like we go
The mouth
that
clip.
sound. Green
Oh.
apples is supposed to help with that.
You mean like
Hmm.
Granny Smith? type
Yeah, the Granny
apples?
Smith, not any other
Or-
kind of apples, just the green ones.
So,
For some reason,
not
there's something in it.
pre-ripe apples, just like the tart ones.
Yeah, like
Know that.
not pre-ripe ones. Yeah, Granny Smith type apples.
Tart.
And so I've been trying that. And that works a little bit too. It kind of like does something about getting rid of that kind of like sort of phlegminess that you get in the back of your throat.
Uh-huh.
Okay, guys, can y'all see my
It's a
screen?
good tip.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, I just want to take us over to suggestions, comments, news, and discussion, which I just call it news. News, because that's 4 categories. It's too many for me to wrap my mind around. So I just call it the news section. And I'm going to address y'all's attention to these Libriversaries. See that sticky? This is sticky at the top. Libriversaries for February. Have all of y'all been to this page yet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody? Do I have
Yep.
that yet? How
Yeah.
about that? That's fantastic. Well, I just want to let you know, and I told y'all last month, but I got invited to take over this project. It's been going on for some time, but mostly unknown to a great many of us. So I've decided to spiff it up and beef it up. And every year every month, we're going to have Libriversaries. It's a bit of a process. You have to go through all the member files for every February for 17 years and find out who participated this year. And this month, this February Libriversary, look who we have right at the top of the list, who've been participating for 17 years.
Yay, John.
They joined in 2006.
Mark.
And they're the only 2 left from 2006 in February, who joined in February now. That doesn't count the rest of the months. And then Leanne Howlett. These are the top 3. So what I'm decided to do is I'm always going to PM the top 2 years since they're very rarefied. And I'm just going to congratulate them by PM. But I'm going to do my due diligence to attract everyone else to these pages. So you can look through here. Is anybody else's name on this except for Doreen? Look at this. This is the one. Look how many.
Oh, yes.
67 participants joined within the last, since that they have been here for a full year. 67. That's not bad retention. But if you look at 2 years, it's down to 19. What is that? We've lost 2/3 or more. 3 years, look, we only have 3 people have stuck the.
Well, you have to balance that too
Hmm.
with far more people joined in 2020 and 2021 than usual because of homebound stuff.
Hmm.
Those were
Could
crazy
possibly be.
joining years.
And
But the
isn't
point
this
being
just
that
for February?
this is, oh, yes, of course. Now,
Yeah.
this is just for February, and we've got the January one up too,
Yeah,
but it's worth looking at them.
I joined in January 2019, and I didn't see myself on the January list.
You didn't.
Mm.
Well,
Aw.
why haven't you PM'd me?
Yeah, you haven't been on.
It said it at the bottom that you're
Okay.
supposed to do that. But we can go fix that. Well, you can just tell
Okay.
me about it and I'll
Okay.
fix it.
Okay.
Because I definitely want your name on there. Because
Well,
Michelle, are you the one who updates those then?
I'm the one who updates these as
Oh.
of this January.
Oh, okay.
Michelle,
That's cool.
I wasn't on there last year, and Lynette told me you have to sign in at least once, 3 months previous.
Okay.
to the month.
That is correct. And I told her I would like to change those rules. And she said I could change them any way I want because it takes a lot more work. But
Put it
I want
automatically.
every single person that was active in the previous year to get credit. So I go back a full year. She went back 3 months, and in most cases that was adequate, but it did miss a few. So this
I was
year
missed.
you won't be, hopefully you won't be missed. But if you look, it's generally 3, 4, 5. Oops, poor 10 years didn't work too well. But it gets very rarefied up at the top.
Yeah.
So we need to do what we can to encourage these people to stick around. These ones that are down here, these 67 people, we need to be extra friendly to these people. Please stay. Welcome. So there you go. I just wanted to do that. Now, Doreen, I actually reached out to Doreen because she was one of the ones who posted here at the bottom. You see, she actually posted. And she said, I am 1 year old this month. I learned a lot this last year. Special shout out to Larry and Jim Hendricks getting me through my newbie phase. Since joining, I've tweaked my recording booth. This is why I reached out here to get a noise floor of -77, upgraded my mic to a Rider NT1, added RX Isotope 19 to my
There's some typos
editing
in there.
arsenal, and had a session with the famous Uncle Roy Y to help polish my editing skills. And I asked her to come to the meeting today to tell us more about Uncle Roy Y. She says he's quite well known in the voiceover community. One thing he does is check your sound and set up presets to help your editing. He was a lifesaver for me, and you can find him on Facebook. So, Doreen, I would like for you to tell us a few words about Mr. Uncle Roy.
Goes by Uncle Roy. Not sure how he got that nickname. And he has a company called Antland Productions. And
Yeah.
I'm in.
Thank you. Hey, Phil.
Oh, hello, Phil.
Miss Doreen here is a February Libriversary participant. She's been here 1 year this month. You see Doreen up there?
Oh, happy versity.
And we're fetting her today. And she's telling us about Uncle Roy. Okay. Tell us about Uncle Roy.
he has a company called Antland Productions. He does editing. He does a lot of classes, one-on-ones for people that want to tweak their editing skills. He has a proprietary program that he uses where he'll come in and put all these shortcuts in you so you're not using your mouse so much. You can just click a key instead of having to use your mouse for everything. He was able to merge my isotopes into my Audacity, so my editing is really quick now. The hardest part is cleaning up my breath, and then I just hit his presets and boom, it's done.
All right. So that's proprietary, so you can't share any of those tips.
No, it's not. But a couple things I have seen on LibriVox as well. Those couple hints, so I can review those. Does anybody use a limiter?
Mm-mm.
Good. I had taken a class through, I think it was Udemy, and this one guy recommended this preset, and he uses the limiter, and Roy says, no, get rid of the limiter. If you have to, if your spikes are going into your too big, you take your amplify and decrease that by about -3, and that way you won't need to use a limiter when you do compression.
So how many of y'all use compression? Raise your hand if you use compression.
I use it on some voices when I'm editing DR stuff, but my own voice I don't need it for.
So you don't use it across the whole file?
No.
Okay. Well, that's another thing we can talk about some other time.
I use
write that down.
compression at a very low level, and sometimes I don't use it at all.
Yeah.
But what I do is I often record a little bit low and then boost to get to my right range. And if I don't need compression, I won't use it. And if I do, I'll use maybe a 1.3 to 1 or so, a very gentle setting.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is, oh, I see what I got here. Wait a minute.
How's it going?
Spotlight thing.
So the if we're done with that, thank you, Doreen. Appreciate it. We had talked about last month, we talked about squelch, or we couldn't figure out the word for it. Screech, squelch is something that occurs in all my recordings. And I wanted to clarify what that is and show y'all, like, just do a little short snippet of what that looks like on my waveform and how I get rid of it. Okay, y'all ready for that?
Yes.
All right. Now, I don't know if everybody else has that or if it's just something I have. But
No, it's an issue for me.
okay, so there I have.
Deirdre.
Y'all can see that, right? What
Yeah,
I've done
okay.
is I'm recording Deirdre. I just took out of the most recent recording that I edited the day before yesterday. I took a few of my corrections, my snippets, and I just I'm going to run them by you. It's very short. It's no big deal. Okay. So if y'all just let me know if you can hear this, okay? Laversham noticed the difference, for when she spoke to the girl, she was replied to by the woman. Okay, I don't have any notes there. See, I have this is demo, my squelch, change your expression. Pronounce wrong voice. Okay. One of their men, said Laversham, crosses the Black Pig's Dyke often enough. And woe on it, said Conahur with a cheerful laugh. And woe on it, said Conahur. Okay, you see right there? See those little lines right there? Those are clicks.
Yeah.
Clips.
Clicks. There's a click right there. See that click? What we were talking about last month was going in and deleting the clicks. But you don't have to do that. If you use the declicker, there's the declicker. These are the original settings that the effect comes with. Watch this. You just press, watch that. You press OK, and the click is gone. You haven't changed your spacing at all. Okay, so now it just goes, and woe on it, said Conahur with a cheerful laugh. He gets back again. We must strengthen the Connacht marches. Okay, see that right there? That's what I call a football or a spike. If your waveform is closer together, you see that little uppy down? I call it an uppy downy spike. Looks like a football. You see how it's pointy at the top and pointy at the bottom?
Like
and that's what it sounds like.
Could you zoom in? Could you zoom in some more?
Yeah, before I would cut it, I would zoom in a little more. That's what I call a squelch or a screech Okay, a screech. And if you
Yeah.
go ZX marches, it still says marches, but it does have to take out some of your waveform, but not much. Or that man will make our fortifications the laughter of all Ireland. Is it Set Magach? Oops. I don't know why.
Michele,
Yes.
Michele, what you were taking out was not not
Swept.
squelching it. You were deleting it.
I
Is
was
that right?
deleting it. I was deleting it. Correct.
Not squelching it. Okay.
Okay, I wasn't lowering it. I would like advice on how to do that if I don't want to change my pace, my spacing. But is it Ket Makmaguk you speak of? Is it Ket Makmaguk you speak of? Oh, that was me changing how I talk. Someday he may forget to remember that. See, there's someday he may forget to remember. You hear that?
Right
you
in
can
front of
see
the
it.
T.
You can see it right here.
Right in front of the T.
You can see it. It always looks just like that. Someday he may forget to remember. I didn't get enough of it. Forget, because there's two of them.
Hey, Michele, is the declicker, is it one of the tools?
Yes, declicker is an effect.
You guys all use Audacity?
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
someone suggested using the De-Esser.
Someday he may forget to remember. Someday he may forget to remember. It's gone now, ZX, but it still says the word. To remember that Ket Makmaguk is his uncle, and if he brings
Michele,
what?
somebody suggested instead of deleting it, use the De-Esser to remove
Yes.
those. Have you tried that? That would not
I have tried
delete
that,
it.
and
It was, I
has
think.
not worked.
I'm sorry, just suggesting. I don't use it, but that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, I've tried it too, and it hasn't worked for what I have needed. It also, I mean, unless you're going to go in and do every single one individually, you can't do the whole file without it compromising your audio across the board.
Now I thought about the declicker. I thought it would compromise everything across the board. So someone referred me to an old thread, and the person who originated the thread was Ruthie Golding, and she was like the head honcho back when I first started. And she said she used the declicker on every single file. And it takes a very long time to declick. So what you do is you wait until the end when you're about to go eat dinner or something, and you set declick going. And if you have a 30-minute file, it could take 20 minutes to declick it.
Really?
So I tried that, and I saved the original, and then I got a copy and I declicked it, and the whole thing, and I could not tell any difference in quality or sound between the two. So now
for most people, it'll do that. For some people, depending on how your particular way of doing your ending consonants is, for those very few people, it'll affect and make your consonants disappear. Probably on like Australian kind of voices, it's going to who tend to kind of swallow their ending consonants to start with. But overall, it won't do it like the De-Esser will. I'm hoping somebody knows
about the De-Esser. We'll get to that.
And the problem with the De-Esser is too, I will say, as somebody who does a lot of editing of DR, if somebody has already done fairly strong noise reduction and they also are doing strong compression on their files, you try to do anything with that De-Esser and it's just, you get space monkeys coming in, some kind of video game on top of their voice. So the only thing I've found so far that I can do is to go in, because sometimes the S's, the T's, the Ch's, the G's,
all that stuff,
all of that is so amplified individually that the actual words become unintelligible as you're trying to listen to what they're reading. So
you're saying the De-Esser causes that problem?
No, I'm saying
that
if
is
I tried to just highlight their line and use the De-Esser, it further deteriorates all of their files so that it sounds like you've got
Okay, well, let's do the
video game
let's talk
sounds.
about De-Esser in a
coming
little while. Let's
together.
stick with
So,
de-clicker right now, if you don't mind,
yeah,
because I
yeah.
only have a little short ways to go.
Okay, we'll finish up. Go ahead.
In love, Kanahur replied, we see only what we love to see, and as that is unreal, we should not look lovingly on anything, and so we may get sight of what is really visible. I don't know. And so we may get sight of what is really visible. Oh, that's just me doing it two ways. Alas, my poor Deirdre, said Laversham. The troubler has not given much trouble yet, laughed Kanahur. No. The traveler has not given much trouble yet, laughed Kanahur. Okay, that must have been for something else. Chapter 13. Laversham went home. The sense of urgency and unmeditated haste, which for some time had been in her mind, was greater than ever, as though she were being... There's a click right there. You hear that click?
Yep.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know if that little thing right there is the click. It is, but it doesn't matter. I don't have to pick it out and get rid of it. I just hit D. I have D click set at D. I hit OK, and it goes away. Do you see it? It just left. Isn't that amazing? As though she were being pressed to an action thoroughly comprehended indeed, but for which she had no plan and no explanation. Click. There's another two clicks in there. Try this again.
Where is the declicker? Is that in effects?
Yeah, I'm going to show you. Now, I'd have, I'm very ignorant about sound. I haven't bothered to change a single one of those. I use it just like it is. And look, it got rid of both of them. Clicker is gone. There was something to be done. She knew what it was, but could not state it. And there was also something which prevented its accomplishment. I don't know why I have that in there. Instead of a puppet to be pulled here and ordered there. Okay, this one I think has a click within the word. And ordered there. And ordered there. Do you hear a click within there? Here and ordered there. Right there, there's a click. But trying to find a click inside of a word is often very disappointing. But if you hit D, click, the D key, here and ordered there, it's gone. It's a miracle. When Laversham tried soft, see, there's a, I know right where it is. You see that? That uppy downy line? That tall. That right there is a, and how to get rid of it without getting rid of the word. I wish the De-Esser would work, or the D something. I'm looking for a solution, but in the meantime, I go through my files and get rid of it this way. You don't want to get rid of too much. But if you do, Laversham tried soft. You see, it says tried instead of tried. It does work. Come on, you. It undid it. Laversham tried soft ZX. I suppose y'all know about the C key, right? Softly in her chamber. In her chamber. There's another one. You can see it. Chamber. Softly in her chamber. ZX.
Do you hit Z before you do declicker too?
I do Z before I make any deletions whatsoever.
Good for you.
Sometimes they're not necessary. Asleep. But... And she stretched her. Oh, this one's good, really bad. And she stretched her ears. So you got 3 of them right there. This would be a great place to try the De-Esser or something else. But my whole point that I'm trying to make out is you can see these things. There's one there, one there, and one there. The ideal, of course, would be to not say them at all. Do not say them at all would be the best thing. I hit the C key, and she stretched so that I took out too much. No. And she stretched her ear. That didn't work. And she's this is kind of, I know this is going to bore you to death, but I'm just trying to show you the work we go through. And she stretched her ear. Stop it. I'm going to go ZX and take that out. And I can just look at this and say that I know that that's another one. And she stretched her ear. Take that out and take this one out. Stretched her ears. So there's no more. Stretched her ears towards the bounds of that small universe. So what do we agree to call those? Squelches? Screeches? I think screeches is better.
Hard to tell what it's called.
Stretched her ears. There you go. And that's it. That's it. So I guess y'all know how to add labels, right? That's not something you don't. It's so easy. It's so easy. You just click, let's say you want to put a label right there. I have it set to L. No, I have it set to, L. I hit the L key and it adds me a label. See?
But what would that be
If you
under?
don't have it preset, I think if you just right click in the location that you want, I think that gives you the option to make a label.
Okay.
Okay, I just right clicked. I didn't see anything like that. But anyway, I just have a preset for L for label.
See,
It might be up on tracks
Sorry,
if you don't have a preset.
I
Oh,
didn't
it
ask
is.
you to do anything. I was
Okay,
just
all right, I thought you were asking. I'm sorry.
You can go edit and label and add a label at the selection, which I've set to L. So that's my key. But you can.
I've never added a label. What's the point of adding a label?
Okay, so I wanted to remember what I was going to show y'all. Or, you could go back and say, well, this is in the wrong voice or something like that. You may, or this is pronounced this person's name wrong in 17 places. So as
And
you
it can come in handy when you're putting together.
as you're
dramatic
proofing
wavy
something,
files.
you can label it. This is where I need to change Ardan to Ardan or to some other thing I don't know how to pronounce until I talk to somebody else. So you can just hit a little label there.
Yeah.
You don't even have
You're
to
just
type
doing your
anything in.
own recording and you're doing your own editing.
your own
you
thing.
typically won't end up using them. There's no real need for them. It's just extra work.
Yeah,
But
it's
if you're putting together files for dramatic projects, they can come in very handy.
I'll bet.
I'll bet they do.
And improve listening. So if you wanted to know the effect is, what did I just say?
The declicker.
Oh, it's clicker.
Well, the declicker is going to be down at the bottom because I'm pretty sure the declicker, like the De-Esser, is an add-in that you have to.
Oh, that's right. It is an
You
add-in.
have to download into your Audacity. It
There you
doesn't.
go. Declicker. I have that set at D, and the De-Esser I have set at E, but I haven't been satisfied with anything that De-Esser has. I'm still hoping it will work.
Hey, Michele, this is quarter tone.
Yeah.
So I have
Let me
little,
I'm going to stop sharing here. So
oh, sorry, I don't have video. So one thing you can do with De-Esser and also declicker is you can isolate changes, and so the only thing that shows up will show. It'll replace the waveform with the clicks and S's that are to be removed. And so one thing you could do is duplicate the track and apply De-Esser declicker to that second track, isolating changes, and you'll see where the S's and clicks are. And then if you need to reduce the amount of removal, you can kind of amplify those and de-amplify them so that the S's and clicks won't be as strongly removed.
Do you use that yourself?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Would you be willing to demo that next month?
Sure. I can see if I can share a video of my screen.
Okay, that would be wonderful. I have it downloaded as an effect, but I've just never been successful using it. So maybe you can help us with
I have a lot
that.
of S's in my recording, so I usually apply a lot of it.
Good. Okay, so hopefully I've made my point there about the de-clicker. I really love it.
Okay.
And need help with that de-esser if you can help me with that.
That I have a question about the de-esser. Where is it in the effects? I don't see it.
It's an add-in. You have to download it into your Audacity. It's a free software bit, whatever, shareware, whatever, but you do have to add it separately to your Audacity. But I found that once I added it, each time that I have updated my Audacity, it carries through, even on the like jump from 2 to 3. It's
okay, so it keeps the most recent setting. Yeah, that's really good.
Well, it's a plugin from Audacity.
And you can find it if you go to the wiki.
I just posted the link there in the chat. You can find it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nice.
I think I might try that.
Where is the chat? I don't see a chat.
We got a chat. Thank you very much.
Oh, I see
Probably down at the
chat.
bottom.
Wow, look at all these chats. And what do I do? How do I save that? Because when we record this video, that doesn't record the chats. Did you know that? So
I think that's an option for the host, but I can't remember.
That is
I
right.
can't find it. Well,
I appreciate that, Quarter Tone. I'd like to
I'm going to
see if
copy that.
I can play with things on the de-esser to be able to do that on the files that people have been a little too aggressive with their noise and compression. Maybe I can still get it because it takes a lot of time to go through individually and lower the sound of the S's and things to be able to
sometimes when I
record.
apply it, it like you said, then it kind of deletes that word completely almost, and so I have to go in and reduce that amount of S.
Yeah, that would be really helpful.
Lynette, I admire your persistence, your patience.
Oh, would you
That's
look at all those? Wow, I'm reading the chat. Wow.
I wanted to share, I
Busy.
love the declicker and I use that quite a lot on my own files because I have a rogue tooth that creates a lot of clicks. But I guarantee you, if I have an L in a word, particularly between syllable or between another word, there will be a significant click. And often they come inside a word and the declicker won't catch it. And it'll still be there. And it drives me insane because it's pronounced. It's not just like, okay, let it go, but it's pronounced. And if you super zoom in, it's difficult sometimes to find where the click actually is, but you get talented at it. After a while, your eye gets adjusted and you see, I'm like, that's where the booger is. That's the booger that the declicker can't get. And you just use the repair and it will do it, but it will do it only on the tiniest little snippet. So you have to super zoom in to find it. And so, it needs to be worth the effort of going to all that to do it. But my rogue tooth does make that happen.
You
sometimes.
rogue tooth.
But yeah, I got this rogue tooth. That's
you could put a little super glue there when you record.
Yeah,
keep it
bad
together
enough. I want to get braces for it now because it's ripping up my lip like crazy. But my brain goes, here's when you're addicted to LibriVox, because my issue with getting braces in my mind doesn't fit in the budget, which should be an issue for me to consider. But my issue is, am I going to be able to record if I have braces on my teeth?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, since I had COVID, my voice is throaty and it's I have a lot of phlegm in my throat that I'm always having to clear out. And so I'm going to try this throat clear stuff that was mentioned.
You can try that too. What worked for me when I was recovering from my COVID throat.
But my point is, it didn't stop me from recording.
Yeah.
No matter how awful it sounds, I'm just going to keep on going.
Try this too, Michele. Make yourself hot lemon water to sip on while you're a little bit before and while you are recording. And all it is as if you were making tea, get some water hot in your teapot, put a couple of slices of a lemon, no sugar, just a couple slices of lemon in your cup, and then pour the hot water on there and just drink it like that. Kind of like you're steeping lemon tea straight from a lemon slice.
Tastes good, I'm sure. Okay, I'll give all those things a try.
Phlegm too. but no sugar.
Okay, Michelle.
All right. Yes, sir.
I've got my hand up. That means you're
You
supposed to say.
do. You
You're
do
supposed
have
to say,
it. I'm
okay,
supposed
Phil.
to keep looking at your pictures.
Yes, Phil
I'm
has
not-
his hand up. He has
Okay.
something important to say, or not important, whatever. Yes,
Okay,
I do.
Phil, you may
Now,
speak.
I'm gonna lower my hand. Thank you. Listen, I turned off my computer a few days ago because I don't normally turn it off. I just put it on sleep. And by golly, when I turned it on in the morning, I was groggy or whatever. And Audacity, when it booted up, it wanted to install the new version.
Yeah,
And I clicked, sure, go ahead.
No,
Thinking,
no,
oh,
no.
no, I never do that. I wait a year, for the dust to settle and for everything to, well, I did it. And unfortunately, apparently I didn't watch all the little boxes. When it installed 3.1.2, it removed all of my preferences.
No.
I had, yeah.
So you had to
Well,
reset them.
okay, it's not a huge amount, but I use my preferences to zoom in, zoom. I constantly do that.
You use your keys a lot.
My keys a lot, and I
Yep.
had to go back in and reset them. I mean, so on. It was 20 minutes of irritation. However, I want to warn you guys to carefully read the box. I don't recommend you upgrade, although
I'm not going to upgrade.
I don't think it's going to improve it. Let the dust settle. Let all these, and it also started inserting big blocks of space in my. I'd pull up an not an MP3, an Audacity file, and it would be inserting big blocks of space all through it, which I had to remove. When I record, I stop and go get my coffee or whatever, and I come back and I just pick up right where I left. Well, it did that too. And since then they've upgraded again to 3.1.3 because apparently they're fixing. So I just wanted to say, be careful. I recommend holding off. That's all.
My version is 3.2.4.
Yeah, I think that's the
latest.
current one, isn't it, Claudia?
Yes, the latest.
The latest is
3.2.4. I updated.
No, 3.2.4. They're up to 3.2.4 now. They're putting out quick hot fixes.
Yep,
for these
they've been
things.
fixing
So
things that people complain about or that bug up.
well, it's
okay. I haven't had any trouble with this version, so I couldn't say.
Keep it.
So I have a question to ask y'all.
Don't mess with it. Yes, go ahead, Michelle. I'm finished.
Okay, we have 12 people here today, and I'm used to being a secretary for like meetings, and so I like to have a list of people who attended. Would y'all object if I listed like in the in the forum how many people were there today? It might encourage some other people to come if they recognize your name.
What are names? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like who attendance of this meeting were, and subjects covered were, that sort of thing. Okay, by y'all? Everybody okay with that?
Fine with me.
Okay.
I think we can vote. Yeah, I vote yes. You see, look at my thumb up there. Am I?
All right.
How did you do that?
Reactions.
All right. Reactions. Let's all play reactions.
Oh,
hey, there's my Mardi Gras. By the way, happy Mardi Gras, everybody.
Oh my gosh, there's this whole scroll down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at all these things down here. Some of these sign languages, I'm sure some of these are dirty. I'm not going to use those.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I got lips. Anyway, yes, I vote. Put the names in.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
How funny.
Now, who here has told me that their name was missing off of the January?
Quarter tone. No.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay. I'll fix that. Okay.
Yeah.
Game.
Find out why I missed it. The rule is that I've changed it to is that you have to have had you have to have participated as a volunteer within the last year, like within if it's February Libriversaries, I go all the way back to February Libriversaries of last year. Of last year. So if you just said hello on a forum, that doesn't qualify. You have to have either posted a file or PL'd something, or participated as a volunteer, not just called in to say, hey, everybody, because there are people that swing by and do that, which is why in the previous people said, no, we're not falling for that. But I said, yeah, we'll fall for that because it's so rare. It's so very rare. But I will definitely check and take care of that for you. And I'm glad you pointed it out. In fact, you could do me a favor, since what we do with our posts is we sort of set a tone for what others can do. I wish you'd go back to the January Libriversaries and say, hey, my name's not on there. That gives other people permission to say the same thing. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the way I work. It all helps out. Okay, let's go brags. Let's do brags. I'm starting upper left. Claudia.
Oh no, I have nothing to brag about.
Okay, brags. For me, I'm I'm going across the screen. Your screen might not be like mine, but I've had this project on my desk for a couple of years called Deirdre. It is a Norse saga, and it's got 40 or 50 names of people that I've never heard of, Irish names. So along about 6 or 8 months ago, along comes a guy named Joe Bergen, an authentic Irishman. Unbeknownst to him, I was ready to pounce on an authentic Irishman who could help me with pronunciation. So I approached him via PM. I don't know, he read for one of my group projects, and I was like, I pounced on him and I said, look, I've been looking for you. I've got these 2 projects that have been on my desk for a couple of years. I don't feel qualified to deal with them. Would you either like to do a solo, or would you help me with pronunciation? So he actually did his first solo, which was the Demigods, and he did a fantastic job on that. And then after that, I PL'd him. We became fast friends. And then I said to him, okay, I'll do Deirdre, but if you will help me with the pronunciations. So if you go to the Deirdre project in the solos, you'll see a long list of, you'll see a note of appreciation to him that he helped me with the pronunciation guide. You'll see a list, a long 2-page list to the pronunciation guide that he helped me develop. And you'll see a list, almost like a dramatic reading, Lynette, where I have to list the characters, the main characters, because in Irish mythology, like this king marries this daughter of this other king, and then they get a divorce, and he marries the other one, and there's children displayed all over the place, and they're all related to each other by some way, and it's all jealousy and subterfuge. It's very difficult to keep it in order. So my brag on this project is that I have had to list the main characters, and as I read the book, I get to find out who they are and define them. And so it's a good project. Deirdre. I think that it's kind of maybe not groundbreaking exactly, but it's got some really neat features that you don't usually see in a project. So that's my brag. And I'm about halfway through recording it, and it's really tedious work because of all these names. But it's going to come out good. And of course, there's the throat issue but I'm like addicted, just like addiction. I'm not going to stop because I'm going all the time. I mean, I take all that out, but that's the way it is. Okay, next brag would be Doreen. You want to brag on something you've just recently been involved in?
Signing up for my first solo.
Yay!
You did that already?
I'm in the middle of it.
Okay.
I chose the Mark Twain book.
Oh, fun.
Oh, fantastic. Which book are you doing?
Tom Sawyer Detective.
Oh, wonderful. We'll be looking for it. Lynn, I'm sure you're doing dramatic work still, huh?
I am swamped in DR land right now because I have I finished my own. I am not editing a single one of my own DRs at the moment. I'm doing one that I fostered because a new person started it up 2 months after they joined, and then they just completely disappeared from LibriVox. And it's 35 chapters long, but it's a wonderful Australian mystery book. And I'm now on the downhill side. I'm on chapter 19 or something like that of that one. I have another one that I guess I would say my best LibriVox friend. We've never met in real life, but we work together a lot. She BC'd a fun one, and I told her if she would run that one that I would edit it for her, and that came up simultaneously. So I'm working on that. And also one that I narrated, but the BC needed help with editing, so I'm editing that one. So three. And 2 of those are super intense editing work because of problematic voices.
Right. That's a whole nother subject.
Which I'm not complaining about. I would never volunteer to edit if I wasn't ready to embrace those challenges. I just see it as a challenge to rise to. And I've learned a lot editing those 2 challenging DRs because it's very satisfying. In fact, I'm doing my final run through of one of those chapters today, and it has taken me 4 days of about 4 to 6 hours of work per day to go through this very long, well, I call it very long, it's 48 minutes long for a DR.
What is the name of the project?
The Man Called Thursday is one of the 2, and Handsome Kid Murder.
Somebody just did a solo on that. I did the cover for that.
Yes, they did a very nice job of the solo with it, but it is so satisfying and fun to have the final run through to go through on the. So I don't know, this chapter that's 48 minutes long has taken me probably 20 to 24 hours to go through and individually, because, and that's why as on my DRs that I sponsor, I always put at the top, please be very gentle with your processing. Because if somebody doesn't know what they're doing and they just super compress something, or they
Lynette, I'm going to cut you off
super
here.
noise reduce, you can't do any more editing without it.
Right. Lynette, that's a whole topic we can put the whole hour of, okay? And that's a wonderful topic. But I'm going to move on to Jeffrey right now and see what his brag is.
Well, let's see. I have a recently completed solo project, which is
what's it called?
It's called The Greek War of Independence. It's a 19th century textbook in ancient Greek. So Charles Chambers took the story of the Greek War of Independence and rewrote it into the language of Thucydides. And when I told my dad that I was recording this, he asked, "Is anybody actually going to want to listen to this?" And my brag is there's a guy who's teaching courses in ancient Greek online in Australia, and he's using this as his textbook for the course. And so he instructs all the students, please download Jeffrey's excellent recording of it.
Nice.
Fantastic. What a brag. That's good. And a lot of people do use our work for different things.
That is wonderful.
Mary, what you got? We're running out of time. We got 5 minutes left.
Well, first, thanks to Jeffrey for recording some Greek for a solo project I was DPL for. It really worked well. She was so thrilled. And Lynette, I hope I'm not one of those problem voices in that project.
Oh no, you're one of my. I love to see Larry's files. You're a break between.
One of the things that I've been doing is miniature DRs in some poetry projects, like Rachel Lindsay's one. So we're doing a couple of those. So they're embedded in the poetry project as little miniature DRs,
Oh,
and the
I
effect
see.
is just so neat. It's
Okay.
really good to hear that. So you're listening to the poems, and all of a sudden, here's one that has voices for the different parts.
Okay,
And,
Larry, I
got
want to
some
ask
Robert
you something
Frost
about
voices.
that
Yeah.
real quick.
Mhm.
Let me ask you something. When
Yep.
you have a miniature DR,
Yep.
do you have voices in mind and do you invite them or do you just open it up and let anybody come in?
Usually I do invites. If I need to open it up, I can do that as well.
Okay.
But I have particular voices in mind that
Right.
you know, I do enough DPL. I'm familiar with a lot of voices, so I got
Right.
a smorgasbord to select from.
Okay. All right, Lisa, what you got, girl? What's happening with you?
Well, nothing as outstanding as what other people have said here today. I just record, but what I have been doing, and I think, yeah, Larry, you've been working on the anthology of magazine verse. I've done two things for that, and that's like I'm stretching myself. I'm not really like a poetry buff or anything like that. So when I've done two things, and I did 6 sonnets, and I researched what is a sonnet, how is it supposed to sound, who is Krupp, so I've been learning a lot through doing it. So it's been really fun.
And that's the joy of LibreBox is we're just learning.
Yeah.
You did a great
Thank
job.
you. Thank you so much for that. Rich, what you got?
I've been editing on The Year When Stardust Fell for a long time. It's a huge dramatic reading. Larry and Phil and Quarter Tone are all in it. Quarter Tone, about 6 parts in there.
Yeah.
And I just finished my first cut of chapter 17, which has a great death scene that Phil did. So I just put a link in.
Death scene.
I just snipped out the death scene. It's in the chat. So zoom down to chapter 17. You can listen to it. 5 minutes and 40 seconds. And,
all right. There you go. Thank you. Quarter Tone, what you got?
So I just posted my first solo project. I haven't started anything on it yet, but it's called The Brain by Edmund Hamilton. It's a sci-fi thing about kind of sort of AI, I guess, and how it can possibly ruin the world.
I'll be your DPL.
I think I've got somebody.
That's good. Well, that's
like
great. I look forward to listening to that. I wrote it down. I really like the sci-fi stuff, and I do some, and I like to PL it a lot, and I follow what that list that Ben Tucker posted. I follow that list and look for stuff to do. So that's good. All right, Phil, you're the last one here. What are you going to brag about?
Rich stole my thunder. I got a gold star from Rich. He sent me that. He said for apparently what I don't know what the dying scene melded perfectly or fit right in with the scene. So, and he sent me a gold star. So, hey, thank you very much. I'm proud of that.
Gold star.
A virtual gold star.
I'll die anytime for you.
All right, people, it's 12 o'clock. We're up right on 1 hour. I've had a great time. This has been a good session. I hope that y'all come back next month. I urge you all to bring a friend, tap somebody and invite them to come. It would be great if we would have 100 people on here. We ought to.
They never get done.
Well, I don't know. It might. We just have to be a little tighter here. Okay. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Quarter Tone, for those links. I've managed to copy them.
Thank you.
Bye. See you
Thank
next
you.
month.
Bye.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.